Hey YouTube, Lance here, and you're watching GLBT News 101. In this video, I wanted to talk about same-sex marriage and as it applies to the United States and what states are going to be next. First of all, I want to start off by showing you the map of the current states that allow same-sex marriage, which are mostly in New England, with Maine up here. Excuse me. Yep, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Maryland. Sorry, but the map doesn't have the proportion of Maryland quite right. But Maryland does allow same-sex marriage, as well as Delaware, Iowa in the Midwest, and Washington over here on the West Coast. You can barely see it over there, but it's right there. First, and of course, all the blue represents the states that currently don't allow same-sex marriage. Starting with big history was made in the Midwest, and especially Minnesota, this last Thursday, with the passing of the Minnesota State House approving same-sex marriage. And as now it goes to the Minnesota State Senate, which it is pretty much assumed that they will also pass it, as well as the governor should be signing into law sometime. And provided all that happens, gay marriage should be legal as of August 1st, I believe, this year. Other than that, I just wanted to kind of do a video informing people about the next states to watch, as there's several other states that should be passing gay marriage soon, or there are measures that will help develop the issue into passing within the next 3 to 5 years or so. Possibly sooner, next 2 years or even this year. Of course, only time will tell. But starting off on the East Coast, especially New Hampshire, or excuse me, not New Hampshire, New Jersey. I would pick a color that's a little bit more viewable. Orange, right here, New Jersey. They currently same-sex marriage bills have passed in their state Senate and state house. However, their governor, Chris Christie, has actually vetoed the bill, and they're actually trying to gain support to override his veto. So it's very possible that by this year or maybe next year, I'm not sure when that bill would no longer be valid, because I do remember hearing that after a certain time, that bill expires and they will no longer be able to try to override his vote. So it's very possible that they may be able to gain enough support this year or possibly next year, and have passage of gay marriage in New Jersey. Of course, we'll switch Minnesota to pink because it's pretty much assumed that most likely Minnesota will become the 12th state to legalize same-sex marriage. Another state to watch is Illinois, which is right next to Iowa. Their state house, I believe, has already passed a measure allowing for same-sex marriage, which I don't, which I think Illinois is one of the few states that, unless I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure that they're one of the few states that do not have a constitutional ban banning same-sex marriage under their state's constitution. So it's very possible that they will be able to gain enough votes and become one of the next states for same-sex marriage, either the 13th or 14th possibly. I say 13th or 14th because another important state is California. Just recently, the state Supreme Court has ruled same sex marriage unconstitutional at the state level. However, it was appealed, and so the federal Supreme Court is or has been reviewing the issue, and they will be making their verdict on the issue sometime in June. If not, I believe it comes out June 1st or sometime in June. So we'll be able to find out that the result of that, presumably, people are saying it's very unlikely that they will overturn the state's judgment of the ban against same-sex marriage illegal. So basically, to put in plain English, it's very unlikely that they'll continue to ban same-sex marriage in California. Still possible, but it's very unlikely. Another issue they're talking about that it's the ruling might actually have a bigger portion, and that's saying that separate but equal is unconstitutional, which would mean states like Nevada, Hawaii, which I guess isn't on here, Oregon, Wisconsin, Illinois, and I think it's Colorado. Those states, and of course New Jersey on the East Coast, those are the states that have some type of same-sex or some type of civil unions. Those states could be I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus California, the 7 states that could automatically have gay marriage legalized based on the Supreme Court ruling. Also, it's possible that they could just basically rule in a way that deems that any ban on same-sex marriage is unconstitutional. But based on the verdict, based on the conversation that the judges were saying, it's unlikely that they would have such a dramatic ruling, and assumably, everyone is assuming that it's most likely that the ruling may only apply just to California. However, no one will know until it actually happens. But with that said, those are the states to watch. Also, a few more states to watch is Ohio. They're currently gathering votes to put a ballot measure on up for election for this next voting cycle, which I believe they're voting this November, if not November of next year. They'll be able to put the measure on the ballot if they are able to get 10% of the voter electorate to support putting on the ballot measure to legalize same-sex marriage. So that is another state to be watching. Let me switch that to orange. That they could be having same-sex marriage. They could be legalizing same-sex marriage in the next few years. Also, Nevada is another state over here that, again, while they do have some same-sex civil union rights, excuse me. While they have some same-sex union rights, they do not currently allow same-sex marriage, and it's actually banned under their state's constitutional. There's actually a committee that actually, I believe, passed through a committee. It still would have to pass through the state Senate and the state House, and that process would take still would take a lot of effort, and plus, provided it passed this year through the state House and the state Senate, it would still have to be passed through another legislative session, which I think would be 2014 or 2015. So the process of getting it legalized in Nevada is very complex, being with the constitutional ban at the state level makes it very difficult. However, that's another state to notice that there's some type of action going on, as well as New Mexico. They're one of the few states that does not have a constitutional ban against same-sex marriage, and I don't believe they even have a state statute um, banning same-sex marriage. They're I think one of the only states that has not taken a stance for or against. However, there's no current, um, there's no drum up of support currently going on, or no currently support of going for or against. So, in the next few years, I think it'll be important to kind of keep an eye on New Mexico and see if there's some type of progress or degression into intolerance or tolerance. Um, and other than that, I think I listed them all. So yeah, just again to recap, let me change the colors so it's a little bit clearer. Possible we'll concede same-sex marriage in New Jersey this year, Illinois, as well as California. I think those are the 3 states that is very likely will be able to pass same-sex marriage, and I'll change the one to white. Ballot measures in Ohio, ballot measure in Oregon, and those are ballot measures, and nothing really in these states, I think. But yeah, so as of right now, those are the 3 states to watch, provided Minnesota does pass same-sex marriage this Monday, and the governor should sign into law in Minnesota later this week. As for Wisconsin, they do have a state constitutional ban against same-sex marriage, and as well as Hawaii. Hawaii is the last state that should be keep an eye on, as they allow same-sex civil unions. So again, if the Supreme Court does rule that separate but equal is unconstitutional, I guess that would be the 8th state. So California plus 7 other states could be seeing same-sex marriage, depending on how the Supreme Court rules. Possibly unlikely. However, we won't know until then. Hope you guys found this video informative, educational, and thought-provoking. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below, and I'll try to get back to them. But thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye.